Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, and it's round 12 of my home circuit of the British GP of Silverstone. So starting in pole position is Johan Zarco with Quartararo, Miller, Bagnaia, Rins and Vinales, Morbidelli, Espargaro, Marquez, Mir, Oliveira, Martin, Rossi, Binder, Marini, Leclerc, Espargaro, Petrucci, Binder, Nakagami, Leclerc, Savadori, Bastianini, Marquez and Matt Grant at the back of the British Grand Prix. So we will look to the red lights, fingers on throttles, waiting for it to go, and away we go. Oh, that's actually a good start. I dropped the clutch exactly where we needed to go, and that's exactly what you need to do when you're starting at the back of the grid. So onto the right-hand side, up into 19th, 20th position as Petrucci gets a little bit out of shape on the right-hand side of your screen there, as we now try and get through on the Tech 3 KTM. Can we get past the one? Can we get past the second one? Oh, a little bit of a nudge there into the right-hander of Iker Lecuona, but now onto the left-hand side, up on the inside of Rossi. Do we manage to make it stick? We do, just about. And now a move up on the inside of Brad Binder. That is exactly how we needed to start this Grand Prix. A bit of contact there with Jorge Martin, but power setting 3 has been enabled. We try and get past Luca Marini on board the Ducati, and now we'll get into the right-hand side. I'm going to break a whoa. I wasn't sure if that make it stick, but we do make it stick. I was going to say I'm going to try and break and go around the outside of Oliveira, but I thought I'd carried too much speed. That was actually beautifully done. Now can we get up the inside of teammate Espargaro? We do. Can we get past Morbidelli as well? That's a brave move if we make it. Not quite, and I did really want to get the cut back, but Morbidelli positioned his Yamaha exactly where he needed to be. Espargaro, please don't try and overtake me there. We are a team, so don't try and make it a little bit too difficult for me. But we now are up into the 9th position. Top 9 already in just one lap. Never mind, we're actually put down to the 10th place because Franco Morbidelli wanted to have it a go as well. And so onto the right-hand side now, going into Village. Nice and tight to the apex. This might be too tight to Morbidelli. Do we have a lunge going into the loop? You betcha. One of my favourite moves. Anything tight and left like that, you better believe I'm going in for a lunge. Just like Struben into Assen, we made the move into the loop. And I have a query. You guys are probably wondering the same thing. If you watch the qualifying session, you will know that Pecco Bagnaia and Miguel Oliveira finished in the top 2. How in the hell is Johan Zarco in pole position? Johan Zarco finished 13th and should have been starting 13th. How the hell is he in pole position? Is that just me? Have I made a mistake? I've only done these 2 videos, so I have absolutely no idea how the hell Johan Zarco finished Q1 in 13th place or 3rd place and then qualified in pole position. What on earth has gone on there? I need to check that back, but I'm pretty certain Johan Zarco started from 13th place. No idea how the hell he started in pole position, but anyway, I digress. We now need to go into turn 5 and get in behind Joan Mir, the former world champion, of course, as we now go on the left-hand side for Chapel, bringing on the acceleration. I might need to use a little bit more of power setting 3. I get a bit nervous using power setting 3 after the Red Bull Ring of Austria was just too close. And of course, if you haven't seen that Grand Prix, I highly recommend you check it out. It's quite possibly one of the best videos I've ever produced on the channel. So dropping into power setting 2 because we do have the slipstream of the Suzuki ahead of us, and of course the Repsol Honda of Marc Marquez. I might have a chance of going into the right-hand side here and getting through on Joan Mir. I've been planning this one. Do we manage to make it stick on the right-hand side? That's very tight to the apex. Oh, beautifully done. We did have to give him a bit of a nudge, excuse me, but we still are into 8th position. So on the right-hand side, getting a little bit out of shape. This is where Morbidelli was able to fight back, and look at Johan Zarco in this one. He has really been gifted something here today. He is now into 1st position. He actually has been since the start of this Grand Prix. So now going the left-hand side. I'll never make it stick ahead of Marquez. A little bit of contact and a little bit more for a good measure. Excuse me, Marc Marquez. But onto the left-hand side, we cut the corner ever so slightly. No metaphorical hand slap, but I tell you what, it didn't help us by running it wide, going onto the green and onto the rumble strip on the exit of that corner. But now onto the left-hand side for the Brooklands corner. Keep it nice and tight to the apex, and we might get a change of direction going into the right-hander. Miller played it very well going into Luffield. Couldn't get past the man on board the Ducati, but will now get away from the bumpy section of circuit and bring on the acceleration for the right-hander of Woodcuts. So Zarco is the fastest man on track with a 1:57.542. For reference, we are 0.5 of a second slower than the Frenchman in the lead. So we now get in behind Jack Miller. If I can pick up a little bit more acceleration here, I can stay with the Australian on board the Ducati, but on the left-hand side we'll go for Maggots. A little bit too tight to the rear of all. Goodness me, I completely messed up that corner. There was no way I was going to recapture that position, so I guess now try and make sure that we didn't gain any time. I don't think we did, because now Marquez is right on our rear time, so I think we did alright there. There was no penalty given, so I think that's alright. I think we're okay. I don't know with this game, sometimes it can just go whang, here's a penalty for you. But onto the right hand side now for Stowe, nice and tight to the apex if possible, a little bit too tight to the apex there, Matt. Maybe don't go that tight, but never mind. The soft front and medium rear working well so far, as we now go in the left-hander of Vale. Will the soft hang on to the end? That's another question. Will be answered shortly, hopefully, as we now go on the right-hand side for turn 9. Getting behind Jack Miller and hopefully bring on the acceleration using all of that slipstream as a different podium. I don't think we've seen a podium this year with Zarco, Quartararo and Rins, so good to see Alex Rins in the top 3. I have flirted with an idea of potentially moving to the Suzuki team next season, so will we be seeing this man on your screens right now in blue with a Suzuki team, or from a Japanese factory? Has been out time over the inside of Jack Miller. Miller's ran it a little bit deep. We take over from the position going into the loop. That is how it's done. That's another overtake added to the history books for Grant into the loop. But now power setting 2, I'm toying with going back up to power setting 3 for the straights and just trying to get in behind Maverick Vinales. So Vinales so far a good race with the man on board the Monster Energy Yamaha. So now on the right hand side for Luffield. Looks like everyone has stayed on board the motorcycle. It's not often we can say that. Usually there's a few yellow flags being thrown and waved around the circuit, but not today, so good to see so far. And I'm also going to mention it once more because I'm still a bit miffed. How the hell is Johan Zarco in pole position, and how is he leading this Grand Prix by a country mile? This game really, really loves Johan Zarco. Is someone from Milestone working with Johan Zarco? Is someone a relative of the Frenchman? I have no idea. Answers in the comment section down below. But for now, going into turn 3 and now into Beckett's for 4, we gained a little bit of time on Vinales and the riders ahead of us. This is certainly a battle I want to get featured in, and I tell you what, we aren't far away from a potential podium here. They do feel like they've got a little bit more than me on the straights, and I'm just losing a little bit of time. No sign of Marquez behind us as well, so what has happened to the man on board the Repsol Honda, the 8 times world champion of course. We're now going into Stowe for the right-hander. We don't go for that stupidly tight apex like last time, and this is where I can gain a bit of time, so chucking the left Dainese boot onto the left-hand side, going into Vale nice and tight to the apex. We will possibly have a chance on Maverick Vinales very, very soon. So on the right-hand side, we'll go for the club corner for turn 10. A little bit too tight at the apex there. You're seeing the motorcycle just slide ever so slightly as we now go on the right-hand side. Difficult corner to get right, this for Abbey. Not bad, though. We didn't do too bad. We lost a little bit of time to Vinales. The gap is around 0.4 of a second. Might have to use a little bit more of power setting 3 to get close enough as I slide it into Village. Still not close enough for a lunge. I don't want to blow this one because I'm toying with 2 ideas here. I am pushing really hard, you may not be able to tell, but I'm giving it everything I've got here to try and stay with Maverick Vinales and co. Although, I am thinking of the championship. If Zarco's going to take the full 25 points, we can take a lot of points here in 6th place. It's not going to be as much, but we won't be losing as much compared to the Frenchman, so not that bad. We can't be losing any more points, and considering we started the last place of the grid, I should be well and truly content with 6th place. But you know me, I want more. You guys want more. You want to see DrAce in the podium in his home Grand Prix. Of course you do. So do I, but I don't want it to be blown away by making a rash decision or a dodgy mistake. So for the time being, not a bad lap time. We're still in the 158s. I think if we're going to try and improve and get to these guys, we're going to have to dip into the 157s. We'll dip a toe into the 157s, see if we like it, and then from there, let's see if we can maintain the pace. Fabio Quartararo having a look around there to see what's happening behind him. And I don't think he should look around, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of riders desperate to steal his 2nd place. So far, the French 1-2 is still hanging on. So whether Quartararo is helping his teammate, or his compatriot out, sorry, not his teammate, we'll see. I don't know for the time being, but Alex Rins, I expected him to make a lunge or 2 on Fabio Quartararo, but the defence that Quartararo is putting on is certainly impressive for the time being. We're now into Vale for turn 8. Closed in on Maverick Vinales. We did much better in there, and we now go on the right-hand side. Do we have a lunge up on the inside? We do have a little bit of black, red and white and a bit of green on your paintwork, Sunshine, because I am coming on through. We are 1/10 of a second quicker than the previous lap time, so we are going to possibly get into the 157s if we can maintain this pace. Now onto the left-hand side for Farm. I do lose a little bit of confidence going into that corner sometimes. I want to hold the throttle, but sometimes I let go and just gradually bring it in or just tip it in and lose a little bit of front brake. But this time, we are closing in on Bagnaia, Rins and Quartararo. Do we have enough power setting 3 available? Do we have enough fuel is I guess what I should have said there. But for the time being, I don't want to rush it. I really don't want to risk it. Maverick Vinales has lost a position to Miller, so that confrontation that we had just a moment ago has obviously shook up the Spaniard, and the Australian decided to have a lunge as well. But now on the right-hand side for Luffield for turn 17, do we have a possible opportunity to get past on the Ducati rider of Pecco Bagnaia? Of course, we're actually still in the Constructors and the Team Championship. We're still in the fight for that, so this is a great chance. And there it is. We did dip our toe into the 157s. Welcome to the 157s, Matt Grant, the first of the weekend. If I'd pulled that out of the bag earlier on, maybe I wouldn't have had to start from last position. But welcome to the 157s. Population 22 other MotoGP riders, and now including the world champions. On the right hand side we'll go for turn 5. Nice and tight to the apex. I'm toying with power setting 3 on the exit here, but we did just cut the corner ever so slightly. That's enough for the metaphorical's hand slap. Yep, there you go, that little slap on the wrist there, just to say, don't do that again. We've got at least 4 more attempts of running that corner if we want to gain some time, but that's not how it works. But now, Rins has dropped a position. Rins has actually dropped behind Bagnaia, so this is going to get rather interesting. Is Rins going to fall by the wayside ever slightly? We are on the penultimate lap, and there is a second track limit warning. I thought that was a little bit harsh, but I guess we got away with doing a few more greens earlier on, so I guess that's only fair. But I tell you what, we are losing a little bit of time. I'm feeling the podium slipping away from me ever so slightly. Do we need to be a bit smarter with this one? The championship cannot be won by one race. We need to be smart about this, because we could blow this one, but also we could go to the promised land and take a podium in our home GP, and by God, I really want to make that happen. It's still not happened in MotoGP. We've done it in Moto 2, but we haven't done it in MotoGP. We did the ultimate prize in Moto 2 by beating Remy Gardner into the final corner, but still, we have to try and get on the podium. I really want to, but we have to think of the championship. The championship is a long game. We can't just try and win this one or get on the podium, but I really want to. I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place. We get a little bit out of shape there going into Luffield. I wanted to just launch up on the inside of Alex Rins, but if he is going to be my teammate next season, I don't think it's a good idea to just bop him into the corner there for Luffield. So, for the time being, we are going to enter the 150... No, we're not. We only went in there once. We've been kicked out of the 157s. We're back into the 158s. But Alex Rins is looking a bit out of shape. Could we acquire a 4th place position? The Suzuki man is beginning to struggle as we go on the left-hand side for Maggots, just briefly. Now the right-hand side for turn 3, just temporarily chucking out the right Dainese boot out there, just popping it out just ever so slightly. As we now go on the right-hand side for turn 5. Power setting 3. We could use it, but only sparingly. Let's see what's going to happen. 0.9? I don't think we should. I don't want to risk it. It's up to a lap, though. We could possibly use it for the next section. Oh, I couldn't even speak then. The next sector, as I was trying to say. A bit of combination between section and sector there. But we now get on the rear of Alex Rins. We are very strong going into Vale. Is this the moment we claw in a little bit of time to Alex Rins? He's gone a little bit too out of shape for me. Quartararo has actually been beaten by Pecco Bagnaia. I do apologise for not commentating on that because I didn't even see it happen. Quartararo is now down to 3rd. Rins is still holding firm in 4th place. Here's the power setting 3 that we spoke of earlier. Onto the right hand side. This could be a chance to line Alex Rins up into the loop. We ran it deep. This is not going to happen. I'm pushing so much. The soft front is struggling to hold on, but onto the brakes we go for Village for turn 13. Do we have a chance going into the loop? I've ran it a little bit too wide. I'll never make that corner. Nope, I'll never make it. It's down to this. Put the power setting 3 back on upon the acceleration here of the left-hand side for Aintree. Cut the corner completely there. Put the power setting 3 on, and let's see if we can get past the man on board, the Suzuki. Where do we go on the brakes? Going around the outside. This is a battle for 4th position. Is this going to be enough? Can we get him going into the left-hand side for Brooklands? Can we pull the Lorenzo on him? Not close enough. I don't think it's going to happen, guys. The podium is out of reach. Do we have a little bit more just at least to take 4th place? Johan Zarco will win here in Silverstone. Pecco Bagnaia in 2nd place. Quartararo takes 3rd. Rins 4th. And Grant holds on for 5th place. Not bad when we started from the back of the grid. So confirmation on your screens right now. Zarco is victorious here in Britain. And I think it's only fitting since we won in Zarco's back garden, he's done the same and beat us in our back garden. But now looking at the championship results, so after that one, Zarco closes the gap by 7 points. Quartararo 36 points behind, 44 for Bagnaia and 49 for Joan Mir. Still a lot to go in this championship and still a lot of riders in the contention. But we look at the team championship, and as mentioned earlier, we are still in the running. Not as much now since Johan Zarco took the victory, but Ducati Lenovo team just 19 points behind, and 39 behind is Aprilia Racing Team Gresini. And something I always forget to show you, I finally remember to show you, is the Constructors' Championship. We are still kinda in it, but we need a lot more Ducatis to crash out. But upon that note, guys, that is going to be it from me. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you really enjoyed the video, I would also advise for you to like the video and hit subscribe as well. But upon the note, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.